has any concerns, we will be recording, and if you do have any concerns, please let Tally know. You, of course, can go off of your video if you don't want to be taped, but we find it is often useful for us to have a recording, know who is here, and be able to share for those who couldn't make it. So first of all, I wanted to just say thank you to my team, and to let everybody know who I am and what we're about here. So we are all here because we all believe in the doing what we can for the environment, and that innovation is a key to making the changes that we all need to combat the climate crisis that we're all in. And I wanted to all make sure that you're aware as well that New Jersey has some very aggressive plans to get to 100% clean energy by 2050. And they are taking bold steps now to get there. And what we're doing at Cleantech Open is a big part of that. So just wanted to let you all know. So without, if you do have your video and audio, video is fine. Audio, if you could mute yourselves, that would be great. So in any event, we are here to tell you a little bit about Cleantech Open and how we accelerate startups and enable folks to not only commercialize more quickly, but also give you the tools and the contacts and the confidence to know that you're doing it right. We'll hear from a few Cleantech Open alumni who have some great stories to tell. And if you're an emerging clean tech, climate tech, or sustainability entrepreneur, we want to hear from you. So please let us know. You're welcome to provide a 1-minute pitch toward the end of the program. Please note this is not an audition. We just want to get a chance to know who you are and a little bit about what you're working on. But do plan to have a timer ready so you can keep it to 1 minute so we can stay on time. And before we get into this, I think what I will do is do a quick around the room here and let my team introduce themselves. So first of all, I'm Beth Zonis. I run Cleantech Open Northeast. And I'd like to also introduce my colleague, Tally Kane, who's our interim program manager. Tally, do you want to say hi?
Hi, everyone. My name is Tally. I am the interim program manager, as Beth mentioned. If you know Trisha Dinkle, I am her replacement while she is on maternity leave, and I'm happy to be here.
Thank you, Tally. And Katie West is our program coordinator. Katie, do you want to say hello?
Yeah. Hello, everyone. I'm the program coordinator, and I will be here until June. So if you're a startup, I look forward to seeing you at the academy.
Thanks. And also, I don't know if Tim is interested in saying hello, but Tim Hoffman is our New York Metro director, and I see that he's on. And for those of you who will be working with us, you'll get to know Tim as well. Is Tim on to be able to say hello? I saw Tim join a moment ago. We can maybe catch up with Tim later.
I can say hello, but my video is not working at the moment.
Okay.
Hello, everyone. Glad to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
Absolutely, of course. And now, without further ado, what I will do is introduce our first two speakers. So first we will hear from, and I actually have these teed up as on some slides if you want to see the pictures, but hold on one second. Let's do that because that's actually kind of fun. So here we are at our kickoff for New Jersey, and this is Cleantech Open Northeast. And what I am going to do is just do a quick introduction to the three folks we'll hear from first, and then I'll turn off my slides so that they can present. So Jonathan Ratner is Senior Advisor of Clean Energy at the New Jersey Economic Development Authority. So thank you very much, Jonathan, for all you're doing to make clean tech innovation easy and possible and really well supported in New Jersey. And Judith Sheft is the executive director for the New Jersey Commission on Science, Innovation, and Technology. And thank you, Judith, for all you're doing as well, alongside Jonathan and your team. And third, I'd like to introduce Mike Meyer, who's the Director of Development at Hugo New. So Hugo New is has a beautiful space that one of our startups has actually been lucky enough to use in Kearny Point, New Jersey. And he'll tell a little bit about what Hugo New does and what that space is about as well. So without further ado, I'm going to stop sharing and turn it over to Jonathan. So take it away, Jonathan.
Thanks very much, Beth. Very pleased to be participating in today's webinar for New Jersey companies exploring potential to participate in this year's Cleantech Open Northeast Accelerator program. As Beth alluded to, and as I think many of you already aware, the Economic Development Authority for New Jersey has been ramping up its activities in the clean energy area. And that means not just the large-scale initiatives like offshore wind and the creation of a state green bank and the rebate program for medium-duty truck electrification we're about to launch, but also a growing constellation of programs to support our state's early stage clean tech entrepreneurs who really have a capacity to play a critical role in building, or maybe I should say rebuilding, the innovation focus of our economy. I say rebuilding because, of course, this is, after all, the state that brought the world Thomas Edison and Bell Laboratories, among many other famous sources of innovation. So in terms of the clean tech innovation ecosystem in the state, first, I see that Serpil Gurn is with us, so I'd like to give a shout out to the Rutgers Eco Complex, which has already for many years been playing an important role as a real actual workspace for R&D activities for clean tech companies. Together with our partner agency, the Commission for Science, Innovation, and Technology, we are launching two new programs to support clean tech, the clean tech ecosystem and clean tech innovators. And my colleague Judith Sheft, as Beth has mentioned, is with us, and she'll be able to tell us all a little bit more about those great programs. We also consider our work with Cleantech Open to be another important form of our support for the ecosystem by helping our young companies build up their business skills and acumen in areas like customer discovery and business planning and marketing and fundraising. That's why I'm pleased to say that we recently formally joined the Cleantech Open family as a 2021 program sponsor. One thing in particular I want to mention is that a portion of our sponsorship dollars for the program is earmarked for Cleantech Open to use to help defray the tuition expense of New Jersey-based companies that participate in the program. The amounts will be payable as a reimbursement for companies that successfully complete the program that are New Jersey-based. The exact amount will depend upon the number of New Jersey companies that are in that category. We actually provided this kind of tuition support last year, even though we were not yet a formal Cleantech Open sponsor. Last year, we were able to cover roughly 2/3 of the tuition expense for 7 companies. I should say that very proud that New Jersey companies have really acquitted themselves very well in Cleantech Open in recent times. And I know we have a few of those companies with us today as well. Last year, 2 of the 4 winners of the Cleantech Open Northeast capstone competition for grant support were New Jersey companies. That's 2 of the 4 out of about 40 cohort members from New Jersey and Pennsylvania up to Maine and even to Eastern Canada. So that's Andluca Technologies and Renew CO2, who will be speaking with us a little bit later. I'll stop there and say I'm really looking forward to the balance of the hour. I'm going to put my name and contact information in the chat so that if anyone has any questions for me, whether about some of the details of the way the tuition reimbursement works, what you need to do to be qualified as a New Jersey-based company, or any other topic at all, whether related to Cleantech Open or not, so you know how to reach out to me. Thanks very much, Beth.
Absolutely. And thank you, Jonathan. And to reiterate, I do want to make sure everybody heard what Jonathan said, which is that the New Jersey Economic Development Authority is making it easy for startups to participate in this year's Cleantech Open. If you're a New Jersey startup and you participate in the Cleantech Open, you complete the program, you will get some money back. So that's the really nice support that that New Jersey is providing. So next up, I'd like to introduce Judith Sheft. So Judith, can I take it away?
Great, thank you, Beth. I'm delighted to be able to join both my colleague, Jonathan Ratner from the EDA, as well as Beth from Cleantech Open, to just spend a couple minutes telling you about the Commission on Science, Innovation, and Technology. As Jonathan mentioned, our programs really complement many of the other EDA programs in that we're focused on very early stage startup companies that are working on innovation-based initiatives and activities. We have 2 current programs that are currently open, and I certainly see by looking at the participants in this webinar, I can see some of the companies who have already applied. We have one program, which is a Cleantech Seed Grant program. That grant application closes on April 5th, so you still have time to complete an application to participate in that program. It can be a complement to other things that you are doing, such as participating in the Cleantech Open program. That program provides a grant of up to $75,000 to companies that are working in the Cleantech, clean energy space at TRL levels 3 through 7. As I said, that application closes on April 5th, and we'll be starting the review process. Our second program, which is also opening on April 5th, is the Cleantech Voucher Program, which allows companies to get access to facilities at New Jersey universities and will then offset and provide a voucher to offset the cost of using those facilities. So depending on the size of the company, you can get a voucher of either 75% of the cost or 50% of the cost. Again, the specific requirements are posted on the CSIT website. Again, those applications will be reviewed on a rolling basis, and companies can apply for awards of up to $15,000 that can be used at multiple universities. So you may want to have some work done at Princeton and some other work done at NJIT or Rowan or any of the other New Jersey universities who have clean tech laboratory facilities that can augment the work that you are doing with your company. I do want to mention that, the Cleantech Seed Grant Program, the Cleantech Voucher Program, a company can apply for both of those programs. It's not an either or program. And additionally, companies who have already applied for and received funding through our SBIR, STTR matching program are also eligible to participate in the Cleantech Seed Grant and Cleantech Voucher Program, so that they can be put together to really create a whole set of capabilities for you. I'll also put my contact information in the chat as well, and happy to have anyone reach out to talk about some of the early stage programs that we have underway. Thank you, Beth.
Excellent, Judith. So Judith, if you could put your maybe 2 links and or your contact information in the chat, that would be great. So people can know how to apply for the Cleantech Seed Grant and the Cleantech Voucher. Those are very valuable programs, clearly. So thank you for that. Next up, we have Mike Meyer of Hugo New. Mike?
Hi, good afternoon. Thanks, Beth. So Hugo New Corporation is a 60-year-old Corporation. We've owned a large property in New Jersey since the 60s. We historically were an industrial recycling enterprise for the first 5 decades of our life. Over the last several years, however, we've been in the business of redeveloping or repositioning some of our legacy properties, particularly junkyards. We have a bunch of large properties that were used for industrial recycling across the country, and we are in the process of cleaning them up. Many of them are brownfield sites, and repositioning them for more productive economic uses. We own a large property in northern New Jersey between Jersey City and the ironbound section of Newark. It's called Kearny Point. It's over 1 million square feet of various types of space, from light industrial to flex and office space. And we've essentially repositioned this property as an incubator for clean technologies and other economic innovation. We are very much a mission-driven development enterprise. And so economic justice, environmental justice, social justice are really core to what we're trying to do. And as part of that, over the last 3 years or so, we've been in-kind sponsors of the Cleantech Open, making sure we tackle not only the environmental problems in our particular location, but across the country and across the globe is deeply important to us. So supporting and enabling small companies, whether they're tech oriented or not, to achieve these missions of environmental and social and economic justice is core to what we're doing, as I said. So we've been supporting the broader ecosystem for environmental innovation in the state of New Jersey for several years. As I said, we've been supporters of the Cleantech Open. We also are participants in the state's NJ Ignite program. Under that program, tech startups can get up to 10 months of free rent in our location. It's effectively about a 60% reduction in rent if you come to our spaces. And in our spaces, like many incubators, we provide an array of supportive programs and activities, networking opportunities, as well as access to capital through some of our peers and partners, which we help bring to the table to support the companies. Again, you'll be hearing a little bit later from one of the current Cleantech Open graduates who is currently at our location. But we've also participated with other Cleantech Open participants in many ways. We're participating with, partnering with a former graduate program in doing a prototyping in our site. Because of the nature of our location, it's not just office space, it's industrial, it's mixed use. You can do lots of different activities at our location that you might not be able to do at a traditional incubator location. So I'll leave it there and just say that we're happy to provide our endorsement and support for the Cleantech Open. We participated in a number of their training sessions in the past, and it is the highest caliber and with really a phenomenal quality of volunteers, staff, and participants. So you can't go wrong by participating in Cleantech Open. I'll say that. Thank you, Beth.
Oh, thank you very much, Mike. We didn't ask you to say that, but I really appreciate it. So thank you very much. And we're also going to hear after I give a little introduction to Cleantech Open, you'll hear from a few of our startups. So meanwhile, what I'd really like to emphasize is that if you'd like to do a 1-minute pitch, please put your name, your company name, even if you think I have it, and your yeah, just your name and your company name, and I guess your location would also be helpful in the chat, and we will call on you when we're done. So what I'm going to do is go back to sharing. So here we are, and as a little reminder, here is who you just heard from, I think. So as soon as the video comes up. Okay, so you just heard from Jonathan, Judith, and Mike. I want to thank all of you a lot, and looking forward to continuing to work with you this year. We just got introduced to myself, Tally, and Katie. If anyone has any questions about anything relating to Cleantech Open, feel free to reach out to one of us. So here's the story. Cleantech Open is a national accelerator. We cover actually more than just the nation. We cover Canada and the US, and I run the Northeast region through an organization called NECEC, which stands for the Northeast Clean Energy Council. NECEC has two parts to the business. On one side, it's a regulatory and policy arm, which does work to make sure that the Northeast is the best place to do business if you're in our sector. On the other side, we have innovation. So I run Cleantech Open Northeast, and there's a follow-on program called Navigate for folks who are a little bit more advanced. There's some great opportunities for people to get connected and work in that space between pilot and first customer. So we are super honored to have an incredible group of sponsors who work with us. As a nonprofit, we do not take equity in any of the startups who work with us. We're super proud to say that our premier sponsors are the Massachusetts Clean Energy Center and NYSERDA. And recently we've added, as you can see, the New Jersey Economic Development Authority as a bronze sponsor. We work with the Canadian Consulate that provides us with some Canadians who work with us each year, and they make the program a little bit more interesting. Anchor Point refers to the Amy Batchelor and Brad Feld Anchor Point Foundation. You may recognize the name Brad Feld. He's the founder of Techstars. So we are a great ramp for people who want to go into one of the Techstars accelerators after Cleantech Open. We also have a number of law firms working with us. You'll see Foley Hoag and Sunstein, as well as Mintz. They all provide services to our startups as they're going through the program and offer various services upon completion as well. For anyone who has solutions that are relevant to some of our corporate sponsors, there are great opportunities to work with those corporates both during and following the Cleantech Open. And those include Kohler, which is the bathroom fixtures and generator company. They also do work in developing countries in the area of water. Chubb Insurance does risk assessments, and they have a center in New Jersey, which is super interesting if you want to do a risk analysis of your startup. Constellation is an energy company, and Schneider, you may have heard of. They do work in both microgrids and also in data centers. I skipped over one in the middle here as a regional silver. Sire Foundation is sponsoring a special prize this year for startups with a carbon sequestration solution. And so if anyone has a carbon sequestration solution, you go through the Cleantech Open, you will be put on a special panel to be able to compete for a special $10,000 prize. In addition, we work with a number of other organizations. The one I'd like to highlight here that's probably most relevant for the startups is Saint-Gobain. Saint-Gobain is an advanced materials company. So lots of opportunities here. In addition, we are giving away over $300,000 worth of goods and services to our startups. And you'll see Hugo New is prominently here as one of them. This includes space to do your work. It includes specialists who can help you, whether it's consultants or interns or special projects. There's software packages and much more here. So happy to share all of this this presentation with all of you later if anyone has any questions. So this is what we mean when we talk about what is clean tech. We cover every solution that comes through our program has some environmental benefit. That's really the gating criterion. Is if you have something that can help the environment, we will consider it. So it's pretty broad. The typical things people usually think of are on the left side, and probably the newer things are on the right. So we usually have a nice cross section in each cohort. So here's the core of the program. We offer training in the form of an online curriculum along with several events. And we have some fun at our National Academy, which will be this year spanning 3 days, June 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. We offer lots of coaching sessions and information sessions, business clinics, where you will get one-on-one counseling and coaching from experts in whatever the key topic is, and I'll show you the topics later. We also have probably the best thing in the program is the mentoring. In the Northeast, we have an incredible mentor pool, and every startup is matched with as many as 4 mentors. These are your advisors as you go through the program. They are there to guide you, to give you suggestions, to help keep you on track, and possibly even to introduce you to folks in their network. Access to capital refers to a few things. First of all, we have an event at the end of the program we call our Investor Connect, and that's when everybody gets a chance to meet with several investors, all different types of investors. We also have investors embedded in the program. So you'll get to meet investors who are sponsors and who are mentors and coaches. And of course, there is some additional funding that's available to compete for. So at the very end of the program, we give away cash. There is no equity in that. So in the Northeast, we have $50,000 in cash to give away. And at the national level, another $50,000, as well as various goods and services. Showcasing refers to an opportunity to show off who you are and what you're up to the general public. And last year we had a special event just for investors. We had a showcase just for investors, and that was really popular. So we will help you get good at presenting, and this is all part of what the program is about. So what do we cover? We cover what I like to say is a mini MBA. So we start out by encouraging everyone to make lots of what we call customer discovery calls. If you've gone through an I-Corps program, you have a little bit of a head start in that first few days. But customer discovery never ends. I have people who are still contacting me after they've completed Cleantech Open, asking for additional contacts to continue their customer discovery. It's super important to get that right as you put together your business model, your competitive landscape picture, and your overall go-to-market strategy. We cover impact statement related to sustainability and more. And we spend a fair amount of time on the financial model, and of course on the 3 things that you will probably use the most right away, which are your executive summary, your intro video, and your pitch deck. So these are what we call your essential business deliverables. But we're super proud of the statistics that we're able to share in terms of our impact. Cleantech Open Northeast has been going since 2005. As I said, it's national, but these are the Northeast numbers. So what you'll see on the right here is the location. So Eastern Canada, Maine, south through Pennsylvania, we cover 9 states plus Eastern Canada. So since 2005, 68% of our startups are still going, and they have raised over $600 million in cash or funds, and $279 million in revenue. And the best part is, in my opinion, is that they're employing over 3,300 people. Last year, we had our largest cohort ever, with 47 startups matched with almost 175 mentors. It was a busy year. So we expect similar numbers in 2021. We'll see. And then the diversity is something that we are really working on in a very deliberate way this year. So you'll see that our numbers have gotten better in terms of diversity. In 2018, we were at about 47%. and last year at 63%. What this represents is that 63% of our startups had either a woman founder or a person of color as a founder in 2020. So we want to do better, but that's where we are right now. But we are above the average in terms of our industry at this point. So what's new in 2021? So I just talked about diversity, equity, and inclusion a little bit. We do want to increase our diversity among not only the startups, but also the mentors and investors and others in each of our events. Building diversity, equity, and inclusion into your startup is something that we will be talking about with some experts that we're working with this year. There's an organization called Browning the Green Space, which is a partner organization to Cleantech Open Northeast. So we're excited to work with them on that effort. GHGERP stands for Greenhouse Gas Emissions Reduction Potential. We are working with NYSERDA in New York and some other organizations to add some new curriculum content so that everybody will be able to calculate their projected carbon footprint. Carbon sequestration, I mentioned the $10,000 prize, and overall we have $50,000 in cash prizes plus over $300,000 in other things for you. So dates. So May 10th, we'll have a little cohort introduction for everyone. May 11th and 13th, we have what we call our mentor mixers for our mentors and startups to meet. And June 2nd through 4th is our National Academy. And then we get going. So June through September, we'll have several business clinics. And these are the specific clinics that will have one-on-one coaching. So in each of these, we have coaching. We will also be running a number of other events that are informational as well. And then September 28th through 29th, we have our regional finals. This is lots of fun. This is where the finalists are get a chance to pitch and compete for the big prizes. And we do it again in a national setting at the Global Forum in October. So if anybody missed anything or you want to share with somebody else, the best link to look at right now is the bit.ly/CTOMK 2021. This is our media kit, which is kept up to date with our events that are happening between now and the application deadline of April 18th. And we also have brochures and other information in there, including information, by the way, about for mentors. So if there are any people interested in mentoring, there's information in there about mentoring. And then finally, the final deadline is April 18th. And the easy link is bit.ly/CTO 2021. And maybe either Katie or Tally, you could put that link in the chat as well. So that's it. And now I would like very much, I'm going to turn off my screen after I just tell you a little bit about each of our entrepreneurs who are going to speak next. So Kwaku Jyamfi is the CEO of a company called Farm to Flame Energy. And he's the one who has really taken full advantage of the Hugo New space, and he'll tell about that, as well as about what's going on with Farm to Flame. They've been making great progress. Nick Davy is the CEO of Andluca Technologies, and he'll tell about what he's up to. As you can see here, he was a Cleantech Open Northeast winner. And Anders Laursen is also a Cleantech Open Northeast winner with his company Renew CO2. So they'll tell you a little bit about what their companies are up to, what they got out of Cleantech Open, what advice they have for the next startups coming up. And yeah, so yes, without further ado, if Kwaku is on, I'd love to turn it over to you next, Kwaku. You can unmute.
Thank you, Beth. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Well, I think afternoon in the Northeast, yeah. So thank you for having me. Very grateful for the Cleantech Open Northeast and the opportunity that arise with it, as well as the momentum that it's given us in the past 8 months to a year. So I actually came out of grad school in May 2020. So like I spent my last semester in the pandemic, but it actually motivated us to think about where we're going to be manufacturing, and then, you know, how we're going to operate as a company after grad school. And so I met Beth, I mean, actually consistently in multiple semesters throughout grad school, and she kept recommending the Cleantech Open Northeast to me. And at first I was a bit hesitant because I didn't know if we were ready for it, but I really took a leap of faith, and it was very worth it. It was very worth it. I got introduced to Michael Meyer, and he helped me get into Hugo New and to Kearny Point, where we're manufacturing 10 to 200 kilowatt generators that can utilize agricultural and residential waste. So we're very excited about that. The technology is coming along, it's almost done. And so I'm very excited about the grant that we got through NJEDA. It was very helpful, and it still is, to our rent and subsidizing our rent when we have all these like capital intensive things to do. So the network, I've just met everyone in the network, even Jonathan Ratner and Judith, Sheft, and everyone has been amazing. Specifically, how Cleantech Open Northeast has been amazing is the mentorship. I would agree that like the mentors were very helpful and very critical in a good way of each piece of information we brought with the business module canvas and your product module. So it's definitely worth taking advantage of those opportunities and really working hard on your business model canvas while you're in the program, so that you can reap the most reward for yourself and the greater community that you impact with your solution throughout and after the program. So yeah, we're very excited, and I'm excited to soon show you our first commercial product. Yeah.
Excellent, Kwaku. I love to hear the progress. And yeah, Kwaku has some great stories about loading Christmas trees into the Hugo New site. So if you have a product or a solution with large things, Hugo New can possibly accommodate. But I think you'll have to talk to Mike about the details. Anyway, I'm going to turn it over to Nick Davy of Andluca. So take it away, Nick.
Thanks, Beth. Yeah, it's great to see all of you. Andluca, as a printing spin out, we're building a wireless smart glass system for upgrading existing buildings. And you know, what's in it for you with CTO? That's really why you're here, right? CTO was a step change for us in terms of progress and momentum. We work with Jonathan Ratner and NJEDA, who you heard from, to offset the cost of the program. And then being a Northeast regional winner, you know, we received a cash prize and also credit toward legal work. So we were cash positive for the program, which is totally absurd based on how helpful it was. We had 4 very helpful mentors. They were folks that not just gave advice, but actually got into the weeds with us. One of them actually became our new IP lawyer because I was so comfortable with him that we transitioned to his firm. And that was not his point of being a mentor, but he was happy to help. I hired 2 new team members through exposure from the program. One of them who saw us pitch, one of them who actually joined the program with me. So that was great, went from 1 employee to 3. We actually raised $450,000 in angel funds following the program. And a big part of that was the exposure from our pitch. And we went from reaching out to investors and potential partners to having them reach out to us. So, you know, most of what we're doing now is inbound, which is incredible. In terms of our milestones, we're developing our first product and the associated supply chain, and the new team members we got through and after CTO are key to that effort. The most exciting milestones are our demo projects we're going to be doing later this year with Fortune 500 customers. And we honed our pitch, and that beachhead market we identified through the curriculum with CTO. We're in discussions with some of the top glass companies in the world with regards to partnerships. And again, those were inbound interests following our pitch. So we're looking to raise our first equity round later this year. Yeah, so stay tuned on that. In terms of the New Jersey ecosystem, as I mentioned, we spun out of Princeton. Our headquarters is still in Princeton. Our first money into the company was NSF Phase 1 STTR. So partnering with Princeton helped us get that award. Then we applied for the Phase 2 SBR, which we're waiting on. And the NJEDA is supporting us actually through a $50,000 bridge grant program while we wait on that award, which is very helpful. And we're exploring how to further partner with the NJ innovation ecosystem. I'm looking forward to finally going up to see Kearny Point soon and seeing Kwaku and Michael Meyer to catch up with. But yeah, in terms of advice for startups, get to know your mentors one-on-one so you can have the best idea of how they can help you and develop a lasting relationship with them. But relationships are how we got through COVID, and they're going to be how you move your startup forward. And in terms of the essential business deliverables, don't think of those as extra work on top of other stuff that you have to do. Dig into the deliverables and make them helpful, the most helpful they can be for you. Those are what you should be doing to take your startup to the next level. And you hear this, you get in what you put out, which is definitely a trope, but it's also very true. So yeah, glad to be here, and thanks Beth and everyone for the program.
Wow, Nick is flying fast here, it sounds like. So once you start accelerating, I guess that's the whole idea. You just keep on accelerating right after Cleantech Open. And I loved what you said, Nick, about how the requests are coming in inbound, which is great. So you got a lot of exposure during Cleantech Open, and now after, and now people are seeking you out, which is fabulous. So next up, I'd love to hear from Anders Laursen of Renew CO2.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to speak to you all. And yeah, so we Renew CO2. We are also out of New Jersey. We are actually out of Rutgers University. We're developing technology that can take CO2 and water and electricity and turn it into chemicals for plastics. So we really had a prototype going into this, but what we learned from this was, as Nick was saying, really digging in with our mentors and understanding what the business model should look like. You know, they were critical in a good way, telling us, well, we don't think this will work, or try to look into if this will actually work, and use your interviews with corporates and so on to figure that out. So our mentors were really so useful for us. I can't really explain how much use they were to us and still are. And so yeah, I would mirror the advice you just got, is like dig in with your mentors and try and front load as much as you can, go into your task and take a look at all of the deliverables and try and get them started early, because they only get more difficult as you go along. And you also often want to go back and say, okay, well, now I know this much more, so now I'm going to go back and revise what I did in the first component. So throughout the program, you'll see how everything builds into itself. And so it's really both the program package, but the mentors as well is so useful. And as Nick was saying, we also now are getting calls from VC companies and emails from corporates that have heard about us through CTO, and so it's amazing the amount of opportunity that this has raised for us going forward, but also our understanding of what we need to be doing to get there. So the program has been really the best, and New Jersey EDA with John and Judith, I mean, they've supported us as well. And we've got the SBR matching grant, which has helped us really make the leap further on and hire our first employee now. So we're very happy about everything that we've learned here. The program is exceptional, so I can only recommend it.
Wow, thank you very much, Anders. That's a great endorsement. And it's great to hear that you're getting inbound too, which is fabulous. And I do want to point out to our anybody who's considering Cleantech Open that the 4 mentors whom we do make a big effort to assign to you all have different skills, different specialties. So they work together as a team to help move you along. And that's the goal. Anyway, we have several people who have offered to to do a pitch. Don't be frightened. This is not a scary thing. It's really just an opportunity for us to get to know who you all are. I have 3 people who said they'd like to pitch, I think, but I also think that there might be others who just didn't tell me specifically. So right now I have James Pfeiffer of Green Waste Energy. I have Ford Seaman of Forest Rewards and Chow Yen of Princeton NuEnergy. I know there are a couple other people who are here who have indicated that they might be interested in pitching, and I'll just say, maybe if you want to speak, you do have a chance to do so. So I guess the best thing to do is to start with the first one. So James, if you would like to give us 1 minute and tell us your story. Do try to keep it to a minute, because what we have a little fun thing that we'll do at the end. We are, and I should probably just announce this ahead of time so there's not any big surprises, but I think what we'll do is a little audience choice award at the end, no pressure, but just for fun, we will see who everybody really likes in terms of the solution and what you're talking about.
Well,
so,
there's the pressure.
Just a little pressure. We
Right.
might have something special for you to enjoy that. Okay, so I'm going to start my timer, and you can take it away, James, whenever you're ready.
So Green Waste Energy has a technology based on pyrolysis to process any type of calorific waste into energy. This can be inorganic or organic waste. Right now, New Jersey has a new Assembly Bill A2371 to prevent organic waste from going into landfills. We'd like to set up a plant to show that we can do this more effectively than anaerobic digestion or composting. So, Michael, I might want to talk to you to see if there's any kind of space at your facility. And Jonathan, I'd love to talk to you about some funding for this initial plant. Our emissions are super clean, and we produce electricity from this waste, and that's it.
Great. Under time as well. So nice job there, James. And great to hear your story again. Next up, I'm going to ask Ford if you would turn off your, go off mute and take it away.
Hey guys, my name is Ford Seaman. I'm the CEO and founder of Forest Rewards. I think we're all familiar ever since we've
Okay, Ford, it looks like you've frozen, or maybe it's me.
No, I think it's Ford.
Okay.
Ford froze.
All right, Ford, you know what? We're going to give you another chance.
Change that.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Why don't you start again? Go ahead, because you froze for a moment there.
Sorry about that. Bad connection, I guess. All right. So I'm the CEO and founder of Forest Rewards. I think everybody's familiar with the concept that the economics and the environment have never really been a symbiotic relationship. We're looking to change that through allowing businesses to utilize our system to plant trees on behalf of their consumers and environmental rewards program. We're looking to create that symbiosis. Through unique QR codes, we allow businesses to put together a promotion. When a customer hits that promotional value, they give them a card with a unique QR code on it, they scan it, and then our back-end system actually tracks how many trees that consumer has planted throughout the life of the program. So this allows it to be fully trackable as well, see your impact.
Nice job. Thank you for sharing what you're up to. It's great to hear. And okay, so next up we have Chow Yen of Princeton NuEnergy or NuEnergy. You can tell me how you like to pronounce that. Go ahead.
Okay, thanks for introduction. My name is Chow Yen, Princeton ME postdoc. So Princeton NuEnergy is a spin-out startup from Princeton University. So we focus on direct recycling of lithium batteries using the novel plasma technology. And this technology can dramatically reduce the the energy cost and also waste pollution compared with the traditional technology. And as we know, the lithium battery, the market is growing pretty fast. And also the age of the lithium battery is become a concern for the society. So that's why we hope our technology can bring to New Jersey, can solve this problem in New Jersey. And we are looking for a next seed round investment for the pilot test. And also we are looking for the partnership for the age of the lithium battery and also the factories facility. Yeah, thank you so much.
Excellent. Great to hear what you're up to. That's a very important problem that you're solving. So thank you. And next up, I have two other people who haven't told me if they want to pitch or not, but I'm going to ask them. You can say yes or no. So Karmjit Sidhu, do you want to pitch about Sidhu Labs?
Sure.
Okay, great. Take it away then.
Okay. This is Karmjit Sidhu. I'm with a company called Sidhu Labs, and we are based in Bordentown, New Jersey at the Rutgers Eco Center. We develop solid-state batteries, and also we're soon to develop organic photovoltaic devices based on polymers. We are the first company in the world with solid-state batteries to have UL approval for safety, and our goal is to extend on that and manufacture next generation solid state batteries. We're doing a lot of R&D currently in the state of New Jersey with a couple of new companies in New Jersey, which we currently use for R&D development. We'll be doing a lot more work together with them. Most of our work is privately funded. We have no VCs. We don't take any VC money. And we have corporate investors who will be coming in very shortly, and we will take it to the next level. So we kind of like doing a lot of the R&D here in the state, and we are blessed that we have some good universities in the States, and also we do work closely with Columbia University with a lot of the work in the next generation solid state materials. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Karmjit. It's great to hear what you're up to, and maybe you and Chao Yen could work together since he's recycling them and you're making them. So
Sure.
maybe there's some connection there.
Yeah.
Okay, next up, if you're up for it, Larry, you are welcome to pitch. I know we were texting earlier. AAA Academy, would you like to tell us a little bit about what you're doing?
Okay. Hello, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Larry Chennault, and I'm working on a project in Newark, totally green, zero-based emissions mixed-use project. And we're developing 3 brick and mortar projects as well as a film project. We have one of the brick and mortar projects is a Idea Media and Cultural Arts Center. The second brick and mortar project is 100 affordable housing units. The third brick and mortar project is a infant to pre-K. And the film project is coming out of the Idea Media and Cultural Arts Center. And we have a preferred developer that's very well schooled in the green tech space. And we look forward to working with Cleantech and all the mentors, if possible, if we're actually chosen to move forward and try to expand across New Jersey with eco villages.
Very cool. Okay, thank you very much for explaining that, Larry. Really unusual solution. I'm curious to read your application. So thank you all for pitching. That was it, I think, unless there's anybody else who wants to say something. Any other possible folks who want to tell us about their clean tech startup? Or I think we're all set. So I'll turn it over to you, Tally, for next steps here. All right, that looks good.
Thanks, Beth. So can you all see my screen, the green Slido screen?
Yes.
Perfect. So how we run our audience choice is you can go to slido.com or sli.do, either on your computer that you're on right now or on your local smartphone. Or if you have a QR code reader, you can scan that little QR code right there. And you get to vote on who you thought gave the best pitch. You are totally welcome to vote for yourself, and you can only vote once. As we're voting, you'll see the little number in the top right tick up as people start to vote. It's just a nice way to add a little bit of pressure to pitches, but we'll just wait as people start to vote. When it prompts you for the code, it says on the screen, it's NJCTO for New Jersey Cleantech Open. It doesn't have to be capitalized, although it is capitalized on the screen. Looks like we're getting quite a lot of votes, which is good.
Yeah, while we're doing this, if anyone has any questions at all, I'm going to add my my email to the chat here. So if anyone has any questions at all about Cleantech Open, feel free to reach out to myself or to Tally. And Tally, if you want to put yours in there as well. I'm bzonis at cleantechopen.org, so feel free to ask me any questions you might have or put them up in the chat.
I just put my email in the chat as well.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm. We'll wait until we get a couple more votes. So feel free to log in and vote. You can vote for yourself. All right, I'll go ahead and stop sharing my screen. And all right, I'm going to stop our poll. Thank you everyone who voted. And let's go ahead and check out the results. We have a tie. Our very first tie. Drum roll, our winners are Ford Seaman of Forest Results and Chow Yan of Princeton NuEnergy. Congratulations to both of you. It's our very first tie.
Oh, I'm not surprised. I think all of you did great. And those are two good ones too. So thank you very much for everybody who pitched. I know it can be a little bit nerve-wracking to tell your story in front of a whole group of strangers who, like this, but thank you. You all did great. So yeah, it's now 1 o'clock local time for anyone who's, I know there were a couple people who were outside of our region who joined. So thank you everybody for joining us, and happy to share this recording when it's ready. And if anyone has any questions, as I said, feel free to reach out to any of us and we will be in touch. So thank you all for being here.
Thank you. Bye.